Hey there, YouTubers. I made a mistake. I was either talking to a GoPro that wasn't recording, or I somehow deleted a file amongst the millions of files I seem to have made. But during this portion of my trip between Marquette and going up to Houghton, Michigan, I started having problems with my front right brake. It started binding. Sorry for messing up this portion of the video.
This is Lake Ruth. I stopped here because the front right brake is giving me a problem now. I stopped a few minutes ago. It was super hot. I put some water on it. It's cooled off. It hasn't heated back up. Okay, YouTubers, status update. Because again, I'm a little mechanical, not a great deal. And I got off the phone with my mechanic, and my guess, I was going down this route, but I will say I call my mechanic because I'm not a genius and I take no shame in not being a motorhead. I wish I was, but I'm not. But it sounds like the brake hose is messing up because of the hills and stuff like that. He said I should be alright to limp forward, so I'll limp forward in search of a garage that can replace my brake hose. And again, I'm not cursing and screaming. I'm not happy. I was a little nervous. This is not what I need. And honestly, the upper arm of the Upper Peninsula, I'm in the middle of nowhere. And I guess it's smart to call somebody and say, okay, how much more damage am I going to do? How dangerous am I? And, you know, he gave me the common sense thing that I was doing anyways, keep some distance and use my brakes as little as possible. And it'd take a mechanic about an hour. Hose should be up here, probably 20 bucks. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that this trip can continue. I'm gonna continue on. Like I just said, I spoke to my mechanic. He said I should be good to go. Vinny, wait, let me buckle up. I should be able to limp on. Let's see if I can get that brake hose repaired somewhere. Oh, well, things happen. Things that you don't get thrilled about, but they happen. Sometimes in pretty places, sometimes in not so pretty places. But I'm going to do my best to stay off the brakes. Stop every now and then and check it. But that thing got tight. I guess I should have listened to that other mechanic, huh? Sure is pretty up here, though. Alright, I am gonna stop recording for a while and listen closely to sounds that are gonna make me nervous. Stuff happens, YouTubers. Stuff happens. Just try to stay calm. Actually seems to be running good now. Not sensing any of those problems. I'm staying off the brakes. A little town coming up in 12 miles and a bigger one in 40, so hoping. On the small town of Lanice, and he seems to still be doing okay. Haven't touched the brakes in a while. part of it, tubers. You gotta be prepared for things to go wrong. Especially when I just went over 90,000 miles. Okay, it's not hot at all. I'm gonna go back up to this garage. It stopped doing it. It's been running fine. I've stayed off the brakes the last 30 miles. Oh, I left that running. Okay, they don't have the parts. We're gonna press it. That's pretty. Oh, I wish I wasn't having these brake issues. Bunch of kids. Trying my best to stay off the brakes. Houghton 27 miles. Copper Harbor 76. Looky there, tubers. That's pretty. With the troubles, you know, you just gotta try your best to stay calm. I might be making it seem easy, but trust me, it takes effort. As does, you know, in general life, having a positive outlook. It doesn't really come naturally. It takes some work. It takes some effort. But things are gonna happen when you got a 16-year-old RV that hasn't given you any problems. And, you know, I might have been better served to listen to the last mechanic, but I thought it would make the trip without having to worry about it and get it back to my connection. Stay calm. And that, honestly, is the best advice I can give people when you're setting out on RV adventures. Being an older RV like this or a brand new one, stuff's gonna happen. If you rant and rave and get all emotional about it, doesn't change the fact that it's gonna happen. You know, when something's going wrong, it's going wrong. It's not the end of the world. There are moments and times where that'll distract you. Like that will distract you. That's what I try to do. And again, it takes effort. And I helped on a brake job once years ago, and I just
know enough to feel comfortable doing it myself. So you pay somebody, because you can do far more damage than you already have. We're gonna check this. Probably take a couple pictures. Again, you can't get all wound up. That was harder braking than I wanted to have to do, though.
Okay, it's a pretty spot too. The brakes are not warm, not hot again at all. Very nice spot. We're up on a cliff. And, you know, when you're a tiny bit stressed out, like this with these brakes, sometimes good to stop yourself for a minute. But I gotta press forward and hopefully see if I can find a place.
It's not pulling like it was. Dodge dealership in Houghton, Michigan. It said 87 a few minutes ago, and now it's saying 81 where I'm at. It's pretty warm. Houghton. Houghton or Houghton, whichever the way the locals say it. I think I should be able to get to this Dodge dealership right before they close. My connection says it should be about an hour job. He's having troubles. Flat tires on his trailer for sure. That's not good. That's a big boat. Tires, tires, tires. Brakes too. Hey. So I called Alan back because I'm trying to stay off my brakes right now. My right front passenger side brake, man, it was damn near locking up. I already had to have the back, for the emergency, the driver's back tire, that was messing up. That brake locked up. That cost me $100. And to grease it. But he's saying it sounds like the brake hose. Because I stopped. It was on hills mainly doing it. It was pulling and all that good stuff, and I stopped, and that whole rim and tire and assembly was hotter than shit. I let it cool for a little bit. I even threw some water on it, and it was steaming. And then it released, and it's been running fine since then. Which Alan says if it's a brake hose, they can do that. So I found this Dodge dealership that I'm trying to get to tonight to see if they could get me in tomorrow. Yeah, it was the rear. That was the emergency brake was grabbing. And they told me, and it was pulling to the right under heavy braking, and they told me it sounds like I could have an issue on the right, but I said, you know, I'll wait till I get back and let Alan look at it, you know, because I trust him and I thought it would be all right.
Michigan, Upper Peninsula, up in that arm. Well, I want to get to Copper Harbor, which is the top of that arm that goes up, and then start heading back down because I'm trying to be back by the end of the month. I had to stay in Aunt Ruth's. Well, I got stuff to attend to. I had to stay at Aunt Ruth's a couple extra days because of the rear brake, you know. Wait until they could get it in. And they seem to have done fine. That's working fine. But man, that brake was friggin' hot, dude. Yeah. Sure, I understand. No, I don't either. Say again? Sure. Sure. Yep, well, there's nothing to get, you can get wound up and mad. It ain't gonna do you any good. So, you paid a man if you put it on a credit card. Alright. Well, I'm driving through traffic trying to figure out where I'm going.
In 1/4 mile, turn left, then turn right.
Alright, bye. Alright, YouTubers, I was on the phone.
Turn left, then turn right. Arriving at destination on right.
That phone call was my connection, basically confirming what this guy had told me, that there's a good chance there was just something in the line. He said he looked under there and everything looked good. And, you don't hold anybody responsible for that when you're asking an opinion. He doesn't have the part in stock, but he's gonna get it. And on my way back, if I notice it happening again, I'll stop back. And both him and my connection said, I could possibly get all the way back to Ohio without any issues. I don't know how far I'm going to push it. So, I'm going to press forward. And when I see pretty scenic sights, I will stop, check the brake to make sure it's hot. I'll pay close attention, see if it's pulling again. I'm telling you, that sucker did get hot. And it could have done caliper damage. It doesn't feel like it. And the guy even said, well, you could clip it off and just drive with 3 brakes if it gets that bad. I don't intend to do that, but because both he and my connection said, and I thought this myself, but it's good to have people that know. I mean, one runs a garage and one's working at a garage. And they both said the same thing, that
In 2.5 miles, keep right.
When it's calipers, they don't get better. If a caliper starts binding up like that, it usually stays binding. It doesn't release. And if it's brake hose, the pressure can come off and it can re-release. Now, just because it feels good to the touch, the hose felt good and pliable and all that stuff he said, that doesn't mean everything's okay. you know, but it's a good sign. So I'm trying to stay calm. That would have been a good viewpoint. So I'm gonna press forward, and knowing me, I'm pretty stupid. If it doesn't do it again, I will probably see how far I can go before it does. That's just knowing me.